Never too early to be talking off-season rumors, and we have a bombshell report from Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio suggesting that 49ers receiver Deebo Samuel could be on his way to Seattle this offseason. We'll explain more coming up on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Before we go any further in today's show, got a little challenge. Chase Sr. of the 49ers report, he heard we were doing this video today, and he said, Tyler, there's no way you could get 1,000 comments and break your comment record for the month of December. And I said, Chase, we're going to prove you wrong. The 12s are going to deliver. So I need everybody to spam 12 in the comment section. If we get over 1,000 comments, whoever spams it the most is going to get a shout-out here on the show. So spam 12, and we'll get going with today's show. Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk of NBC Sports is suggesting that the Seahawks could be in the market for San Francisco 49ers, a wide receiver, Deebo Samuel. And if you recall, just a few weeks ago, out of left field, ESPN's Adam Schefter put out a report totally out of left field, dating back to when Deebo Samuel and DK Metcalf were drafted, suggesting that the Seahawks were trying to bring in both DK and Deebo, but ultimately didn't work out in that draft. Now fast forward to 2025, next year, and we could finally see Deebo going from the division rival 49ers to Seattle, according to Florio. Listen to this. The item is far more interesting for what it reports than what it could mean. The timing of the disclosure tied to the latest Seahawks 49ers game could be a hint to Deebo that if and when the 49ers move on from him or release him via trade or release this offseason, Seattle will be interested. 5-year-old Deebo Samuel, DK Metcalf scoop possibly points to more scoops to come. So I'll say this. First off, I would be very surprised if we are talking a few months from now that Deebo Samuel is a member of the Seattle Seahawks. But the tea leaves are pretty interesting. It makes you think, why? Why are we finding this out now that the Seahawks had this interest in Deebo Samuel all these years ago? Is there an ulterior motive here? Is there something going on to suggest that the Seahawks have plans to bring Deebo to Seattle after all? And Florio goes on to suggest in his reporting that there is a possible scenario where Deebo comes in and DK Metcalf is out in Seattle. Here's more from what Florio had to say. It also could be a hint to the league at large that Metcalf is available after the season, especially if the Seahawks can land Deebo. Remember the report from Schefter at the trade deadline that despite speculation, Metcalf won't be traded? First, there was no credible speculation that he could be traded. Second, that might be the first priming of the pump for someone to approach the Seahawks after the season. That's interesting. Personally, if it comes down to it, if Seattle needs to make a choice, if they have a decision between one of these two receivers, I'd rather have DK Metcalf than I would Deebo Samuel. DK has been awesome in his time with the Seahawks. He hasn't missed much time on the football field, and I think that he has been exactly what the Seahawks need for the most part in that receiving game. And you also think about with Deebo Samuel, I know there's a lot of things you can do creatively speaking with his ability to run the football as a running back in addition to playing the wide receiver position. But think about this. Running backs have more mileage than receivers do. Remember, it's not the age, it's the mileage. And although DK and Deebo are roughly the same age here, I think that those miles that Deebo has put on are going to make him fade quicker than DK Metcalf in that sense. Both of them are entering the final years of their current contracts in 2025. The belief is that the Seahawks are looking to extend DK Metcalf, while the 49ers seem to be in a position where more than likely they will, after 2025, not have Deebo Samuel with the money they have to pay Brock Purdy and among others, so they could be looking to trade him or just straight up release him. So in Seattle's case, you might not have to give up anything to bring in Deebo Samuel. You might just be able to pick him up as an unrestricted free agent if San Francisco were to go that route. So let's ask you, should the Seahawks add Deebo Samuel next year? Knowing what we know, that John Schneider is a fan of Deebo Samuel. Would you like to see him in Seattle? Type Y for yes and for no way in the comment section. Let us know what you think. Seahawks Today is your one-stop shop for all things Seattle Seahawks. We're talking news and rumors. We have our live shows on Wednesdays, sometimes 2 and 3 videos a day, like you're seeing today. We're also bringing you our watch parties, everything, Q&A mailbags and more. It's all in one place, breaking news. If you are a diehard Seahawks fan, this is the channel for you. We just passed 60,000 subscribers a few days ago, and we're not stopping there. Let's get to 61,000 subscribers. Stay up to date. Turn on notifications for the latest happenings on your Seattle Seahawks every day, all season, all year long. The run of the playoffs covered right here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/SeahawksTV. Now, let me say this. I am not opposed at all to the idea of bringing in Deebo Samuel next year. There are a lot of hills to climb to potentially make that happen, but just starting with Deebo, I like that idea. But I don't want to do it at the expense of losing DK Metcalf here. If Deebo is going to hop on board, and if he wants to join DK and JSN and company, all right, maybe we can make something work here. But I'm not getting rid of DK to bring in Deebo Samuel. In fact, DK has been significantly better than Deebo Samuel this year. You look at the numbers comparing the two receivers, DK, in less games played, has more catches, more yards, a higher average, and more touchdowns this season. All right? I think that says a lot right there. At this point in their careers, I think DK offers more than Deebo Samuel has. I think Deebo's taking a step back, that he's not the player that he once was. Although Deebo has had a good career, a Pro Bowler in 2021, a first-team All-Pro, been a part of, some teams in San Francisco that went to the Super Bowl and everything there. No one's denying that he's talented. But if this is a decision for Seattle, to me, I think it would be a grave mistake to choose Deebo Samuel over DK Metcalf, given the choice between the two. You look at Deebo's numbers, and we mentioned that fantastic season in 2021, but his numbers have gotten worse ever since. You look at the significant drop-off, and he's just not what he used to be. Still a very good football player, but you look at DK this year, prior to that injury, he was on pace for a career season. You could argue for DK, and you can't say the same about Deebo Samuel, that DK's playing his best football right now. Deebo's not even close to looking like the same player he was in 2021. If you had to pick a receiver, given the choice, I'm Team DK. What team are you? Are you Team Deebo or are you Team DK? Let us know in the comments section. Type Deebo for Deebo Samuel. Type DK for DK Metcalf. When I say pick your teams here, this sounds like Twilight. What were the teams in Twilight? I never watched Twilight, so who cares? But you get the idea. Let us know which one you'd rather roll with. Today's show is sponsored by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. Choose 2 or more players on any given category. Get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points in football, rebounds in basketball, goals in hockey, all sorts of different categories to choose from. Go to PrizePicks.com/SailAtUs, promo code SailAtUs, and get $50 to spend for free when you play $5. You don't even have to win to get the money. I'm looking ahead to Sunday's action. This one's easy. All I have to do is go half a passing yard in Patrick Mahomes. I think he's got that. Nick Chubb, I think he'll get more than 43.5 rushing yards, and that's easy money. Play along with me. PrizePicks.com/SailAtUs, promo code SailAtUs. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. PrizePicks, proud partner of Seahawks Today. So the Seahawks receiver situation, beyond DK Metcalf. Let's talk about the other guys for a moment here. Tyler Lockett, in all reality, is likely done in Seattle after this season. That we say goodbye to Tyler Lockett. I've been saying it all season long. If you haven't been to a Seahawks game this year to say your goodbyes to Tyler Lockett, you probably should do so. And you got 4 games remaining potentially to do that. So then the question becomes, JSN's going to be around for a long time. Who is going to be that complementary piece to Jackson Smith and Jigba? Tyler Lockett with his cap hit, with his It's like $30+ million. It just doesn't make financial sense to bring Tyler Lockett back unless he wants to take a significant discount. But when you look at JSN's been so good, right? 911 yards. He'll get to 1,000. I told you it was going to happen before the season, and he's well on pace right now. He's had 5 straight games with 70+ receiving yards. He's been on fire as of late. He's really come into his own, and he looks like your number one receiver at this point in time. But with that said, I look at the complement, and DK opens up things for Jackson Smith and Jigba. They go well together like peanut butter and jelly. I don't think the same could be said for Deebo Samuel to work with JSN as the way DK complements JSN in that sense. Now, it's all about the Benjamins. We know this, right? This is a business. And you look at the Seahawks cap situation right now. It's not looking great for 2025. They're already $1 million over the cap, according to the folks at Spotrac. So they got to do some slashing. They got to cut the budget a little bit. And these wide receivers are not cheap. You look at the highest paid receivers in the NFL right now: Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, T.J. Moore, St. Brown, Ayuk, Waddle, Kupp, Smith, Adams, etc. What I think is going to happen based on recent production, we will see DK get more money from his next contract compared to Deebo Samuel. So if you're Seattle here, if you go with Deebo as opposed to DK, you're probably making this as a business decision, saying that, hey, we go with Deebo and we get him cheaper than we do DK Metcalf. And to me, you can't be cheap here. All right? I think you pay the money to keep DK around. He wants to be here, and you go with the better receiver. Simple as that. Tyler Lockett, I think he's gone. What do you guys think? HY for hell yes, he's gone. HN for hell no. Is it the last year for Tyler Lockett? Weigh in, let us know. Follow me on X for continuing Seahawks coverage at Tyler Jones Live. You can find me there, and we'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today.